I guess for me, it's going to start out with relationships, how you think about relationships, how you think about you're going to move forward in relationships. And I'm talking about the relationships that are right in front of you right now, the relationship with your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your dog. You're going to have to start because, man, even in getting a dog, I felt limited in that. Damn, I need a big dog. I need a big dog up here where I could just pet it. Because you really want to get back into life. And you're mentally thinking, how am I going to do that? What am I going to use to get and create a life that's going to be good for me, that I'm going to cherish, that I'm going to take care of? And so for me, it starts off with relationships. Sometimes your worst enemy is yourself. So again, it's really trying to really get honest about how you see yourself. And if you're still seeing yourself as paralyzed, if you're still seeing yourself as what you can't do, then you're not seeing or feeling or thinking of the things that you can do, even if you don't like those things. Because when you're in rehab, a lot of people try to push you to get out and drive, get out and go to work and stuff like that. But you haven't even decided, you haven't even made that decision for yourself that that's what you want to do. So there's a lot of stress that we create within ourselves about what we should be thinking, what we should be doing, what we should be living, how we should be doing, and how we should be living that. So again, deep breath, slow down, one thing at a time, one day at a time. Sometimes it's 1 hour at a time because it just gets overwhelming. And for some of you, this is probably a whole new thing and it's just hitting you at the same time. And all your skills that you had prior to this injury, prior to this disorder, you're going through them all. How to rationalize, how do I justify this? How do I accept it? How do I bargain? Like, God, if I do this, will you do this for me? You struggle. You struggle physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you struggle. But guess what? It's in that struggle. It's in that fight within yourself that you really start learning to see yourself. And you got to see what you want, what you don't want, what you want to let go of, what you need more of. And it's a learning process.
I know that this is a new situation, a new experience for you, but I believe that the way that you can get past this and move forward is with your attitude. If you have the I can do it attitude, it won't be easy, but it'll be easier. And you just have to understand that although you may not think that you can do it, give a little effort, try. If you fail, try again. So once again, it's not a matter of how many times you couldn't do it, but once you finally get to the point that you did do it, you'll understand that you now can do it. The mind is a powerful thing. If you have a positive mindset as opposed to a negative mindset, you can do it. I can remember also, when I was going through this process, I was trying to figure out, who am I now? When I come into a room, do I want people to see, here comes that guy. He's always complaining and this, that, and the other. Or do you want to be the life of the party? I chose to be the life of the party, but it was because I had a positive attitude that helped me get to this point, and it'll help you as well.
Recently, what's worked for me is don't diss my ability and what that means for you. I think the mindset is just try to take a look at all the things you can do instead of making a list of things you can't do. Start making a list of things that you want to do. We say we don't want to do that because of whatever reason. I don't feel good, whatever. Who's to say tomorrow you might not make the decision that you want to do that? So put it on the list. Some people might call it a bucket list or whatever, but create that bucket list and again, you don't have to do it every day. You don't have to try to achieve it all in one day, but do something today that gets you to one step closer to doing that thing that's on your bucket list. You want to go travel the world? What are you going to do today? All right. That's going to make you smarter and a little bit financially ready to achieve that goal of traveling around the world. I think the biggest mindset for me is living in the moment and just observing the moment without judgment. Just being in the moment without judging it as either good or is it bad? To step out of yourself, to take a moment and visualize just stepping out of yourself and look at yourself. What do you like about yourself? Check yourself out, because that's, for me, is what I needed to focus on. And it meant that to do it in moments where I didn't feel like doing it, to do it in moments where I was upset with either somebody else or myself. What's my part in this? Instead of me pointing the finger at, why can't you do this for me? Or feeling that somebody else dissed me or somebody else is doing wrong with me. I really had to learn how to get quiet or take that moment. And this is the kicker right here. Forgiving yourself and then forgiving other people, because there's nobody perfect here. You, me, people around you, there's nobody perfect here. So for me, it's that mindset of being open to the possibilities that anything can happen, but to the possibilities of what you want to happen. I think when I first read it in a book, or when I first heard it from a video or stuff like that, I got bits and pieces, but I didn't know how to put it into action. It sounded good. Oh, wow, man, I want to sound just like that. That's where I got stuck. I want to sound just like that. I didn't see myself being that person applying what they were telling me. I just wanted to look that way. I wanted to sound that way, but I never envisioned that I had that same thing. I had that same thing that I saw in somebody else, that I liked in somebody else. I didn't see it in myself. So I think for me, that's where the whole slow process of trying it out, even if you don't get it right, and asking for help from other people to say, hey, listen, I'm trying this thing here, man. I don't know what it is, man, but you think you can help me? Just bringing in some people into the conversation about, hey, this crazy idea, this is what I want to do. And that's the mindset. I have no problem in sharing people my problems. What if I shared with people my dreams? What about if I shared with them what I love? What about if I shared with them what things that make me joyful? What about that? What kind of response do you think you're going to get? Just check it out. Take it for a ride. Try it. Tommy.
Okay. So I can remember, just like it was yesterday, going through the process of trying to figure out how I was going to move forward. And I had to go inside, deep within, and kind of remind myself. And I chose to have the attitude that you can do it. So I had to be my own cheerleader. And prior to my accident, I worked out, played different sports, rode my motorcycle. So from an athletic standpoint, I kind of had the mindset, or had to get back in touch with the mindset of no pain, no gain. Now, pain, to a certain extent, we don't want it. But if you're willing to push through the pain, you'll get where you're going.